Welcome to a brand new episode of Snobcast. We're here with Chef Tom.
Hello.
Hype Steve? What the fuck? Hype man Steve.
Hey,
Wow.
Hey man.
I guess he's not the host with the most anymore
No.
after that one.
hello.
We have you guys doing good?
Yeah, it's okay.
Great.
Actually, I'm glad you
It's
asked.
snowing. So.
You know what happened?
Imagine 2 hours later.
We have and that laugh is not a familiar laugh. So it's usually just us three. So I mean, we have a very special guest today.
Why don't you tell us?
I just noticed Steve's shirt.
Oh my god!
What?
You're ruining the introduction.
I'm sorry. No, continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Cinzia The Eclipse. Well, Cinzia from Cinzia The Eclipse. Yeah.
Hi.
What do you do? Do people say welcome Cinzia and The Eclipse, or like do you just say Cinzia from Cinzia and The Eclipse?
I like when people say Cinzia in the Eclipse.
Okay.
Because it's like, I mean, the whole thing behind the Eclipse is the fact that I didn't like that when I would play with like live bands, they wouldn't get recognition.
Yeah.
Like people would just be like, Cinzia, and they thought Cinzia was like a band name, or, you know, I work with a really awesome producer. So the Eclipse is kind of like my way of like shining a light on everyone that's part of the project. But I mean, technically, I'm still a solo artist. So,
Yeah.
But you don't have to call me Cinzia the Eclipse while we're talking. Like,
Imagine.
the Eclipse, how's your day?
Like
So Cinzia and The Eclipse.
if we had to do it formal, it's Ms. The Eclipse.
It's true, yeah. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
True. That's a
Yeah,
good point.
It's accurate.
It's a very good point, Tom.
Very accurate.
Going back to
I'm
Steve's
married to the moon.
going back to Steve's shirt that Tom interrupted you.
I'm-
My introduction to you. It says "Don't be a prick," and it's a
Yeah.
picture of a
What is that? Is that a hedgehog
it's a hedgehog.
or a
Porcupine.
porcupine?
Porcupine.
Oh,
Yeah.
hedgehog.
Don't be a
It's 'cause
prick.
I
Why
mentioned
wouldn't porcupine be your first choice?
I don't know. It's. Oh, that's why. Okay.
Yeah.
Everything makes sense now.
Oh my god!
Cinzia,
Tell me it's a band shirt. Is it a band shirt? Because that would be genius.
Oh, right.
No,
Oh.
it's not. It's just
I think
I don't
you,
know.
I think when you buy all your shirts at Winners, right?
they have a lot of cool shit.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie.
I really need to go there and get other ones because this,
Yeah.
you know, like I need Steve's level of shirts.
That's true. But you
Because-
can't be as cool as Steve.
No,
so.
I can't be.
But nobody can be as cool as Cinzia.
That's
No,
right.
that's true.
So,
You're definitely
that's
the
right.
coolest the coolest
What?
person not in this room. What am I saying? I'm gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna turn off my mic, and that's it. No more audio from Tom.
Oh my god.
I've been waiting
this is
so
gonna be
long for
fun.
that.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun. Cheers to you, Cinzia. And I know you're not drinking tonight, but cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Did you have a wild night last night? Is that the issue?
No, I didn't have an awful night. I just
Okay.
had one that was showered in alcohol. It
Shalom.
wasn't awful. It was great.
Yeah, no, it's for sure. It sounds great.
Yeah.
We were. I mean, I felt like our night yesterday had started off with that.
Yeah, it started off with whiskey, a lot of
It's-
whiskey.
Yeah, it started off with whiskey, and then
Yeah.
it melted into pizza,
Yeah, literally. And then Schitt's Creek.
and then Schitt's
So-
Creek. Yeah. So.
So, yeah.
So what you're trying to tell me is that you guys are the reincarnation of Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turning
thank you.
whiskey into pizza.
I'm
into
so
TV.
glad.
And hookah.
And a hookah, too.
We smoked a little bit of
Boom,
sheesh.
actually.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that she mentioned that.
Sheesh.
Very happy she mentioned that. I feel so grand.
That's all we needed was to have our egos inflated a bit more.
I mean, that's what I'm here for. That is definitely what I'm here for.
Let's talk about you. It's enough about us.
Oh my god, I crave validation.
I think it's so cool that so like I've been following you for a while now. That sounds creepy, but it's not what I meant. And I mean you have a freaking single that plays on the radio. Is that a dog?
Yep. Hi. He like just walked in. Colby, come here.
No, he's not mic'd.
Oh, you're not. Never mind. Yeah, it's fine. Sorry. Yeah, he just walked in from the dog park. He's like, "Oh my god, you're here!" Like he's such a nervous dog. It's so funny. But yeah.
So I mean I think it's so cool that you have a single finally on the fucking radio. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. Yeah, it's funny because I just kind of reached out to the music programmers at the Beat and was like, "Hey, what's up? We have a new song," and they were like, "Sick, we're gonna put it on air." And I was like, "Okay."
All
Like, it was that easy.
That happens every day, right?
I mean, we definitely pitched songs before, and they weren't, they didn't get the feedback that I would have wanted or the airtime that I would have wanted. I think it's just, I don't know, it's something just stuck with Runaway, I guess.
Yeah, because it's very peppy and it's very fun, and it's very. We were listening to it in the car on the way here, and we were like, it's very Florence and the Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that wasn't an
For
insult.
sure.
I'm just saying.
No, oh my
Okay.
God, not at all. I love her. She's like one of my favorite artists.
She's very high energy.
She is. I've seen her live.
I've
She's very
seen her
cool.
live too, and she jumps around on stage.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Seriously, when I was looking at what I want to do with Cinzia The Eclipse and stuff, I was looking at so many different visuals of Florence and the Machine, and I just remember seeing her at Osheaga and just all the material of of that dress that she wore just flowing everywhere. And I was like, oh my God, I want that flow, but in songs. I'm like, I want that image, but like in sound.
That's incredible. So, I mean, it's interesting the way you mentioned how you just literally, you went to the radio. Well, not that you went to the radio station, but you reached out to them and you're like, play this song. It's very old school of you, because that's like what they did back in like the 50s and 60s, right? They're like, oh, this is my new song. Play it on the radio. You know?
I mean, I wasn't that obnoxious about it. But, the thing is, some people know this, some people don't. But I used to work in radio before I started everything. And Jenny, that's kind of how we know each other because of Jess. She's my old boss at the radio station. And I feel like the radio world in Montreal is very ancestral. Like people just end up at different stations all the time. So, there were some people that I knew at the beat that I was like, hey, what do you think of this song? Like on Instagram. And they were like, oh my God, this is awesome. And I was like, yeah, you think like, should we pitch it? So, I mean, it's definitely not as simple as like, hey, play this song. And it's a lot more of like, cultivating these relationships and actually having friendships and talking with these people and not just, talking with them to get something out of them. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I mean, so now it's on the radio, and I remember like a few weeks ago you had people had to like call in to like request it or whatever. Like that was the hype and all that stuff. Like, is that still? Everything's still going well on the beat?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course. It started playing a little bit earlier now, so I'm taking that as a good sign.
Nice.
Which is really fun. I think it's just cool to have people on Instagram or Facebook just reach out and be like, go listen to the radio right now. And I'm like, okay.
Were you getting bombarded with text messages as it was playing? The first couple of times? The first few times, yeah. But the thing is, like, the reality is that everyone's on streaming platforms, right? So I think it's more the fact that it makes me really happy to know that I have either friends or people on Instagram that are purposely listening to the radio to hear it. Because I got a message the other day. It was like around 9:30 saying, go listen to the beat. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And 2 seconds later, she's like, by the way, I never listen. I've been just waiting to hear the song. It's like 2 weeks that I have it on 24/7. And I finally caught it. And I'm
That's
like,
a real
my God.
fan.
They're like
That's
messaging the radio, like, play Cinzia The Eclipse or I'll kill you.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to condone violence, but I mean, you can always text 92925. Shameless
exactly.
Shameless plug.
Don't say that. She's gonna kill them. Look at what happened to Ubisoft a couple.
Oh my
2 weeks
God,
ago.
Jesus Christ!
Well, that's you know what I mean. Things get misunderstood along the
Tom has a tendency to bring in things that are just super random.
But it's true, guys. We can
I
talk about
understand,
it.
though.
Yeah.
I agree with Tom.
Thank you. We can talk about it.
Oh
It's
my
okay.
God. But we're here to talk about her.
I'm sorry. You're not. You have nothing to do with Ubisoft. You don't go in there. You pitched it. It happened. The song's great, and we hope it just plays all the time now.
Too.
Like more radio stations have to pick that up. The fuck? What's going on?
Hopefully. I mean, there's a couple in Toronto that's I know.
Oh, nice.
Radio Humber out in Toronto is playing it. There's a couple of other ones, but the beat was a really exciting one.
That's awesome. And so you worked with Jess at like Virgin, right, or like Show'em or whatever it was.
Yeah, so I used to work at Bell Media.
Yeah.
So like Virgin Radio, Show'em, CJD, TSN.
Yeah,
All
cool.
the big guys.
How long have you been doing this now? Like I know you're doing this full time. Like you're not working.
I mean, I still work because, I need money.
Yeah.
But I do work part-time now, which is really super, super grateful for and really lucky for right now. So, yes, music is my full-time thing for sure. And I think it's rare that you have the chance to actually be like, okay, full-time into this and there's actually like revenue coming in. So I'm super lucky for that. But I still work part-time in music, but
cool.
Still working. You have to, if you really, I think a lot of people don't realize all the money that goes into making music or even releasing one song. So it's nice to have another steady income that I can always like bridge that financial gap with,
Yeah.
Could you tell us what you do in music?
So I work in music distribution. So I send people's music to stores. I just hit a big shiny button and I'm like, yep, you can go to Spotify.
That's sick.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's actually really cool.
Can you hit a button a couple of times for us to like get us to like pop up a little bit more?
Especially with you on it. Come on. Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Now it's
people don't know it's me.
Thank you for helping the metrics. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
By the way, did you notice it like after the song started playing on the radio that you started getting more streaming hits and like was there like a little correlation there?
I don't think there was any correlation there at all, to be honest. I think there was a little bit of a connection with radio and Instagram. Like people would reach out being like, hey, I just heard your song here. It's so great. And then I went to go listen. But Spotify, I got really lucky when I put out my second single, No Matter. And you're so noisy, Kobe. He was just standing there. Like, I swear to God, every time I'm doing something, he's like, hi, what are you doing? What's that? Anyways, he just walked away. I think he got annoyed because I wasn't giving him attention. But what was I saying? I got really lucky with my second single, No Matter. For some reason, some Spotify editor decided to put it on like a bunch of editorial playlists. And
nice.
that was like kind of the first big check mark for me when I started Cinzia The Eclipse, was getting that like playlist time. And, now every time I release something, I know that editors at Spotify have my back with like seeing where they're going to put the song on different playlists and stuff. So
that's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I mean, like you have a great voice, and you. She's like, thank you.
I'm such an awkward potato sometimes. It's so bad.
Awkward potato.
And your songs, I feel, are very personal because you write from a personal place. And we see you sometimes on Instagram, like super late at night, you're just literally like writing songs, and like you're like having your followers just being like, I'm writing a new song. And they're like, all right, Do your neighbors bitch at you?
You know what? Okay, so story time. I used to live in Little Italy, right? Which the album Little Italy, all the songs on that album were written in this apartment and around the borough of Little Italy. And I moved out this summer, and there was a guy who had moved in next door to me like 2 weeks before. We had just met, and we hadn't spoken or anything because I was moving in, he was moving out. We said hi once, like, oh, you're the new guy. Great. I'm going to be not here. And we kind of ended it at that. And he found me on Instagram like a while ago and messaged me saying, hey, I don't know if this is creepy, but I was your almost neighbor, by the way. And we started talking, and he tells me how he would be able to hear me through the walls because it was like an old house, right? Which made me super self-conscious. And I was like, holy shit, you heard like everything. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I could like hear when you write. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like there's so much repetitiveness going on. And there's so much like, I'll play for 30 seconds. I'll be like, no, that's bad. Or like play the same thing for 2 hours and it's the same little 10-second loop that I'm writing. Like, it's not fun to be next to me when I'm writing. But he told me, he's like, yeah, I used to hear you through the walls and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry if it was too loud. And he's like, no, I would kind of grab my guitar and try and like play with you. And I was like, oh, that's super cool.
Wow. Why are you telling me this now?
Yeah. I was like, God damn it. But no, it was cool.
The acoustics through the wall must have been awesome.
Yeah,
that he was able to
Right?
like, I'll pick up my guitar and follow along.
This sounds like a hit.
Yeah, it was just really thin walls, and my kitchen was right next to my bathroom, and the bathroom panel things were like, like your school gym, you could like lift those things.
Oh
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that, which like you could hear everything through. Like I would hear them coughing, and I was like, oh god.
Oh my god.
Did you grow up in the East End?
I did. I grew up in Montreal North.
Oh,
Tommy.
represent.
Ayo.
That's cool.
Bunch of East Enders.
That's right.
Yeah, definitely. Do you not hear it?
You could tell it. You could say you
Yeah.
can tell when somebody grew up in Montreal and when somebody grew up on the East End of Montreal. Like
Yeah.
there's a discernible
Yeah, for
difference.
sure.
This is a very
For
discernible
sure.
difference.
I was talking to a friend yesterday about this, and he was like, "Yeah, you're Italian, and it shows." He's like, "But you don't really have like a bro accent." And I'm like, "Just don't get me mad." I'm like, "That's what it comes
Oh
down."
my god.
I'm like,
Bro.
me, I don't understand why you did that though.
Oh,
Like,
there you go. Did that.
Hey, I
it's
just
so bad.
before this idea leaves my mind. Have you ever thought about like writing a song in Italian, like singing in Italian?
Oh.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when I was younger, I would sing a lot of Laura Pausini. So I still do it now. Why do I say when I'm younger? But
Classic.
I mean, I've thought about it, but I feel like, first of all, I speak Italian with like a really Abruzzese and like Napolitana dialect.
Okay.
So it's like a hybrid of both. It's super weird. And I just don't feel like I can write that well in Italian on my own.
Okay.
But I'm so looking forward to working with another Italian songwriter eventually. You know, it's definitely something on my list.
Yeah, that'd be
That is
awesome. I
awesome,
think
yeah.
that'd be really cool.
That would be sick.
Then you get booked at all the like the festivals and all the festivities, and you get to just
Imagine
you get to play in
start
front.
playing on CFMB.
Yeah, you get to play in front of the church. You know.
So exciting!
Oh no.
I'd actually be so down for that though.
Yeah,
Little
for sure. Well-
Italian fest in Little Italy.
Little
The only-
Pompeii feast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only time I saw
Oh
you
my
live.
God.
Yeah, Pompeii. Come on.
I miss Pompeii. Oh my God, Pompeii feasts.
At the park. You have
That's a
that.
real old school
A
shit.
bunch
That's
of people
OG.
who aren't Italian are walking around like, what are all these people doing here?
Why are there
Yeah.
Italian flags everywhere, and why is there food on the floor?
Yeah.
Why is there two men trying to get mortadella at the top of a log?
Yeah. What the fuck? That's nuts.
But it was a game.
It was.
was
People
okay.
just love mortadella.
Oh my god.
Oh, who doesn't? right?
I'm actually surprised you like mortadella.
What? It's delicious.
I don't know. You guys just don't like. You tend to not like things that people
Oh my
like.
god.
Just because I don't like ketchup doesn't mean anything.
Well, you don't like Harry Potter movies. Everybody else does.
Oh, okay. I never said
Never
that.
watched the full Harry Potter movie.
Oh wow! If
We get it.
if we had the Nelly button right now, you'd get an O for sure.
Yeah.
We have a soundboard usually, but yeah, I'm not technically proficient enough to connect the laptop and the phone. So.
It's also just because you're fucking lazy.
Okay.
So I'm curious. I was talking about your voice earlier, and it's so beautiful and so like nice. And don't be a weird potato. Come on, stop it.
Don't be a
Um,
that was really good.
um,
Thanks.
when did you first discover your voice? When did you first realize shit? I can sing.
It's a little bit tough because I think I was always singing from a young age, you know, the way like kids do. And
Yeah.
I feel like 95% of kids are like, I'm going to be a singer or an actor. So you start singing really young, right?
Yeah.
And my dad used to sing a lot too around the house. So it was like something that was just around. And I mean, I started singing a little more seriously when I was in high school, but I was not good at all, like horrible. Like,
Why do you say that? Why were you not good?
because we had like this thing called variety show, right?
Yeah.
And I think I auditioned with like a Beatles song, which sounded good, but then I ended up playing a Taylor Swift song because honestly, I want to chalk it up to insecurity. And I think I was just like, oh, people know Taylor Swift and like, that's cool. Whereas like the Beatles, I love the Beatles, first of all, I still do. But I think it was just like an insecurity thing of like, oh, I won't do it justice, or like people won't even know what this is. So I ended up doing like songs that I couldn't sing. Like my voice is super raspy. So singing a Taylor Swift song, especially when you don't know your voice, just didn't make sense. And it sounded really bad. So I think it was just a matter of like learning what my voice was. And I think it was only when I was like seriously when I was like 21, 22 that I was like, oh, okay, like this is my voice. This is how like I can sing properly and this is how I can sound good, you know, and like Ariel finding her voice a little bit.
Yeah, it's the perfect example, I guess. I mean, but that's cool. So like you're 21, 22, you discover your rasp, you discover your voice. Why is that funny?
You're a rasp.
Oh, but here, it's a rasp. It's a raspy voice.
It's true.
This is a fun way to put it.
Thank you.
Discover your rasp.
You discover your rasp. It's like I could picture like a little like moment of her in her bedroom looking in the mirror, and all of a sudden she goes,
That's the rasp. I have the rasp.
There it is.
The ghost
That
of
was
Duke
more like
Ellington.
the first time that I discovered Janis Joplin.
Oh,
And I was
nice.
like, oh my God, I'm not the only one.
there you go.
And yeah, that was like a big discovery.
So you could slay a Janis Joplin song then.
You could definitely do that.
Yeah, for sure. But I wasn't gonna do that when I was like 14, 15 and super insecure.
You know, there would have
No.
been a group of people like at that variety show though that would have been like, yeah, no, she's killing it. Yeah.
She's killing it.
You
man.
know, like there's always some people that listen to like there's that group that listens
rock
to
and
like,
roll
classic-
people,
the
yeah.
rock and roll people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I mean, I was definitely friends with those guys, but
Yeah.
I was so self-conscious. I was
Yeah.
like, I can't do it.
Would you say Janis is like one of your influences? Because like there's other female artists that have that same, you know, they don't sound like Joplin, but I mean, you know, the raspy voice.
Yeah. No, for sure. She was the first artist that I ever discovered, I guess you can say, that had that in her voice. So it kind of created the sense of relatability for me when, you know, I was surrounded by, you know, the Taylor Swifts of the time. Because like in the early 2000s and stuff and like mid 2000s, it was all about that nice pop voice, right?
Yeah.
Like even Paramore, she had like a nice high voice.
Yeah.
And I never had that. I always sounded like I was smoking for 10 years. But I don't smoke.
Don't lie.
But,
Stop lying.
I was smoking for 10 years and make it sound like you're coming through the speed. Yeah, go get me another bag of smokes.
But that's what it felt like. It felt like I was Gladys working at, you know, Vagina. But,
Oh my God, that's a great Long Island accent, by the way.
Yeah.
That's very Long Island.
As long as
that's my other talent, just accents.
That's fantastic.
as long as you don't sound like Ross from Monsters Inc., it's okay.
Oh my God.
What?
One moment, Mr. Wazowski.
Always watching.
Always watching.
Oh, she killed it.
Yeah.
She killed it. Now you gotta clean the carpet.
Yeah, I can clean the carpet.
Nice.
And have you always played piano and guitar too? Like, or did that come later?
Yeah, I
Now-
don't play piano.
Now you gotta clean the carpets too.
I just keep smiling too much. But yeah, so I my first guitar when I was like 12.
Wait, hold on. Wait.
And
You cut out.
It cut a sec. Hold on.
Yeah, my parents got my first guitar when I was 12.
There we
Okay.
And I think I had 2 guitar lessons with my teacher was my dad's friend, and he was missing a finger. And I was like, how the hell are you going to teach me how to play guitar? You're missing a finger.
Oh, I don't think there's anybody better to teach you to play guitar.
Yeah, probably not.
Right?
I play the guitar. Come here.
That's some instant guru shit.
Hey,
But, like,
play guitar and you only have
okay.
4 fingers.
To this day, one of the best guitarists I ever met, honestly. Like, he
my-
proved me wrong for sure. But I mean,
Was
I
was the
I
finger missing on the fret hand or was it missing on the pick hand?
no, on the fret hand. That's
Oh,
why I was
that's,
like,
yeah, that's,
Wow, that's badass.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, how? I'm like, this is a joke. I'm being punked. But no, he was a really amazing guitar teacher. And I only took 2 lessons, I think, because I was just, I don't know, I just didn't feel like it. I was like, this is too much work. I want to know how to play today, and that's it. Like, I didn't want to play yesterday.
I'm the same way. Fuck.
Yeah. And then a few years went by, I guess, and I started like looking up tabs on like Ultimate Guitar,
Yes,
Ultimate Guitar chords and stuff. And the beauty of that is that they like have the picture of the neck and like tells you where
Yeah.
to place your fingers and stuff. So since then, I think I learned like 5 chords, which are still the main 5 chords that I write with. And I don't know, every day I kind of add something new or like discover how to play something else. So I wouldn't even call myself a great guitarist, like, well, a guitarist at all. I really just do it to like accompany my writing. I don't know. I just find sounds that work, and it works.
All right.
The opening song on the album Little Italy, Under Control, I wrote on my keyboard. But if you ask me what the chords were, I would not be able to tell you. And like, well, you put your fingers here, and then you put them here, and then you put them here.
So talk to us about this EP, like Little Italy. It's so cool. It's so sweet, and like you're doing like a bunch of and you're doing a bunch of like live stream shows too now.
Yeah. Well, thanks for saying it's so sweet.
Is that bad?
No, it's amazing.
It's so sweet.
It's so sweet. That makes me happy. No, because it is a sweet album. I really like it. So basically, it's these 4 songs that I had written when I was living in Little Italy, and I do write really personally, so I'm really happy that kind of resonates within the songs. So all these songs are kind of tied to different stories that I was about to say que j'ai vécu, because my brain is always in franglais mode. But
that's okay. The Office de la Langue Française is gonna fix that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I'm trying to get that like 50% in. You know?
Yeah. You'll just go French at a certain point, and that's it.
Like an interview.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's all like different experience that I had either in Little Italy or I wrote the songs in Little Italy. So to kind of complement that, we're doing this 4-episode series called Lunar Sessions. And we're basically going to the different restaurants or cafes that are tied to one of the songs. Like a couple of weeks ago, we were at Parma Cafe on Jean Talon.
Yeah.
Because that's where I had started to write Runaway. And yesterday we were at Porchetta on Saint Laurent. Because that's where, I didn't write the song there, but it's kind of tied to Porchetta because the song Can't Let You Love Me was a conversation that I had with one of my girlfriends, just talking about how like, are you pausing me?
No, okay, no, it's good. It's good.
There
was something that happened that it, like the audio was freaking out a bit.
It's all good.
Oh, okay.
It's all good. Sorry.
But yeah, no, we went to Porchetta because that song was a conversation that I had with one of my girlfriends while we were having lunch with like Porchetta sandwiches in the park. And so it's really a different way to do the live streams, but also kind of, make it more personal. And that's, Jenny, that's what I'm about with my music. It's really like authenticity over everything and being personal with these songs and like basically letting people into this vulnerable state. So the fact that we can play shows at kind of where these songs started or experienced and tell stories about this and get even closer is just perfect. Like that's exactly what I want to do with my music. And, I don't think we would have done a sort of quote unquote tour like this if there wasn't a pandemic. We wouldn't have had that opportunity.
And it's cool also that these businesses, these local shops are opening up their doors to you and being like, come play your, whatever, your show here, like for like an hour.
Oh my God. I'm so grateful. It's insane. Like, and the thing is, it's not like I can just hit up every restaurant, every cafe in Little Italy. Like it had to be these places.
Yeah.
So the fact that they said yes, and like with open arms too, like, Eric and Seb at Parma and Jonathan at Porchetta were like, I literally had a 5-minute conversation being like, hey, my name's Cinzia The Eclipse. I want to do this thing in the restaurant because it's like sentimental. And they're like, oh my God, yeah, for sure. And I was like, okay, great.
That's amazing.
That is great.
So, you go there with with a guitarist.
So we're actually a whole crew. We're like,
oh shit,
7 people because that is respecting COVID.
All
but
right.
We have our sound guy there. We have the film crew, the guitarist, and me.
All right, that's amazing. And you still have 2 more episodes, or is there 1 more left?
There's 2 left.
Okay.
We have one on November 30th. We're going to be at Ferlucci, which is technically Villeray, but it's okay. It still counts.
We won't tell anybody. Half our listeners are from the Netherlands anyway.
It's very weird, yeah.
Oh, perfect. And then the last one is on December 14th at a surprise location.
Oh. Snob Studios.
Snob
Studios. We're going to announce it today.
Yeah.
This is it.
It's gonna be a bit tight in this room, but
it'll work. It'll
make
work.
it work.
We'll make it work. That's really awesome. That's really awesome. And then, like, the other thing that interests me about you is, so, we mentioned that you're very personal with your writing, and how often, like, so when you write, is it like lyrics first, or is it the melody that comes?
I mean, it definitely depends. Usually, though, it is the words that come to me first, which I've learned that a lot of artists are the other way. Like, they'll have a melody and then the words will start coming. But I don't know. I guess it's just because I, like, throw my thoughts into songs. Like, this sounds so weird, but I swear to God, like, even when I'm just thinking about a situation, there's, like, a song going on in my head. Or, like, if I'm like, oh, no, I shouldn't have done that last night, and then it's like, shouldn't have done that last night. And I'm like, oh, that's a cool song. And then, like, I'll start writing it.
Yeah.
It's super weird. But, yeah, most of the time it's definitely lyrics first because, like, if you know me in, like, my real life, I'm not a very, I don't talk about my emotions very much. So it just automatically goes into the songs, you know?
That's like an outlet you have.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'll definitely write with the melody first sometimes. Like, there's this one guitar melody that I have that I still haven't put lyrics to just because I love the melody so much. And I'm like, no, the words have to be solid for this. So I'm kind of saving that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that you mentioned, like, that you come up with, like, the lyrics first most of the time. It's like, you know, you're like, not many people do that, but, like, Elton John, for example, will have, like, he'll need a lyric from Bernie Taupin to be like, oh, okay, give me the lyric. I have the movie, and I'm gonna go write the melody now. Shit. You know, and like you know, then they write like Tiny Dancer in like 15 minutes, and you're like, okay, cool.
Like, done. Yeah. What a magic duo those two are. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely, probably my favorite. That's why when you said that, I immediately clicked, and I was like, oh shit, that's you know, you're on the way to gold. So there you go.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna totally flip it because I'm the one who comes up with the lyrics, but I feel like my Elton John is Luca, who, like, produces.
That's your producer, yeah.
Yeah, he produces a lot of my stuff, and the thing is, he's like, you want to talk about day one? This dude is like day one, nice. Like way back when, you know. And I think I'm just really lucky to have someone who understands me on that level because, I mean, we're friends first, right? Yeah. And it's just like the beauty that he's a producer and I'm an artist, and it just kind of blends so well. And I think that's why we're able to work so well together because I don't have to explain what I want in the song. Like, he really does get it the second I come into the studio.
I feel like I know which Luca you're talking about. Luca.
Liberatore?
Yeah.
In unison, everyone.
Look at that.
We really need that.
How do you know him?
He was friends with my cousin. He had a band with an ex of my cousin. They were. I mean, you know him. You must know he was in what was it called with Anthony Lala?
Oh yeah, ADD.
Yeah, ADD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All Day Dreamers.
My brother.
All Day Dreamers. My God, that was a long time ago.
It's so funny because, like, so Luca and I went to the same high school too, right? And I remember, and we talk about this all the time. We're in the studio, and I'm like, remember Coffee House? And like, and you'd play like Secondhand Serenade, like a little, look at me and my guitar. And I always make fun of him.
Where did you go to high school?
Pearson.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect that at all. Oh, Montreal North. That makes sense.
Montreal
Yeah.
North. Come on. Really? Henry Bourassa High School.
I don't know. No, definitely not.
Oh, well, you're French.
Yeah, it's right next to Henry Bourassa High School.
Yeah. Scrap time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it was. I don't know. I never went there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. That was a tangent. We went off on a tangent on that one. Bring us back, Ja.
I'm gonna bring us back.
Bring us back with a profound question.
With a profound question.
No, like I said, like we really go way back, you know.
Yeah, and so now he's producing you, and he produces a bunch of other local artists as well, right?
Yeah, local and not local. Like, he's super talented at what he does, and I honestly, like, truthfully believe that he's gonna take over the, like, producing music world soon.
That'd be sick. Yeah. And from Montreal, which is even better. You know what I mean? Like
one of us,
local talent, one of us. What did you grow up listening to, like around the house and stuff? Was there always?
I want to ask.
Oh, you want to ask? Okay,
Oh,
wait, hold on, wait.
now it's too late.
No, wait, hold on.
No,
because Steve has a way to ask questions. Because he's just very passionate about asking questions. So, Steve,
we're putting you on the spot.
Please ask
now?
a question.
But
Please ask a smart question.
By the way, we're gonna make you a theme song for the question. At some point.
I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do it.
hell yeah.
We'll do it.
We'll make Cinzia do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's we'll talk.
Steve's question.
there it is.
Our people will contact you.
So Johnny, basically.
So the way I was going to ask it, it's a little more refined. You ask me.
Just spit on me.
Man, that poor carpet. So you said you were probably singing around 3 years old. So music must have been kind of around the house. What did your parents have on? What were you listening to when you were a kid? No, it's not, but it's way better.
I feel like my parents usually had on like capri pants, button-up t-shirts.
No, I mean music. What were they playing?
I know
She's being a shit. She said she's being a shit.
Well, because he distracted me. You were looking at me.
I was looking at you. I was like waiting for a reaction. She's like, capri pants. I've never heard of that band.
Yeah, I was like,
are they Nordic?
No, I would have known that.
Steve was like, "Did I ask the wrong question?"
They were casually playing some Slipknot and Dragon Force when she was growing up, obviously.
No, I know what you meant. I'm just a little bit of a shit disturber sometimes.
That'll work.
Yeah, but I think like one of the key things of growing up with music was Saturday mornings. We'd have like Saturday morning cleaning, and Shom would be on every time, or Virgin sometimes, but my parents were definitely more on the rock side of things when it came to their music. But it's hard to say because I grew up a lot around, Bon Jovi, Scorpions, AC/DC. I thought I was so cool because I listened to AC/DC when I was 12. I'd like sit on the steps of my parents' house with my boombox and be like, "What's up? I'm super cool."
And that's adventurous in Montreal North. That's like really, you got to be courageous to be blasting some AC/DC.
Right? I had something to prove, okay? A little 14-year-old who looked like Jack Black. Okay, I had to...
What the fuck?
Like who?
Like Jack Black.
Jack Black. What?
Okay. Like Jack Black, School of Rock era.
Get out.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
No, get out of here.
So, can you send us that picture for us to put on the promo? That'd be great.
I'm pretty sure I burnt them all. No, I burnt all of them.
Stop it.
No, but yeah, there was definitely like, it was mostly rock, but my dad is like really big into country too. So I grew up a lot around like Faith Hill, Garth Brooks, Toby Keith, like Brad Paisley.
That's
and
intense.
I mean, to this day, I love country music. There's so much storytelling in it.
That's what it is. It's storytelling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I recently I listen to a lot of music. I'm a huge music buff, and I recently like immersed myself into country music. And what? It's true.
Yeah,
like,
I know it is.
I'm like a really big Chris Stapleton fan.
I do like outlaw country.
I'm like, how do you fucking how do you
mine.
incorporate like all these elements of like blues and like rock and like country and like how do you're singing about drinking that whiskey, but you're making me thirsty. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that should be on a shirt, man.
Yeah, seriously.
What's the smooth as a
Tennessee whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah, but even like just the imagery in that song is so well done, and I don't know, there's just something super emotional about this like really intense cowboy dude being like, "Hey girl, I love you," and you're like, "Ah."
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because when you're watching the music videos of all these songs, they're getting out of pickups, they're on a ranch, they got the hats on, they pick up an acoustic guitar, and all of a sudden it's like super heavily romantic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jess, for example, turned me on to like Garth Brooks, you know, and like ever since then, I'm just like, yeah, Garth Brooks is so cool. Fuck, like
He is cool though. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
because like, if you put everything he does on paper, you're like, this should not be cool, but
No.
it's so cool.
yeah. Like how do you sell out 75,000 seats in a stadium, and you're Garth
Right?
Brooks?
Yeah,
You know?
You're Garth Brooks. Also, that name, like that's his real name.
Garth.
Like
Garth Brooks. It sounds like such a powerful name.
Right? You just know that guy's got the strength to do whatever.
You know when Garth Brooks is in the room.
Well, definitely. He's wearing a cowboy hat. You know? Or actually, he's probably wearing a cap. Yeah, because that's... Anyways, I'm just saying. I mean, what else should we know about this, like, EP? Like, give us some dirt, you know?
Some dirt. Okay, so I mean, in 2020, it's a really big decision, I think, to put out an album, whether it's an EP or an LP, because, I mean, whether you like it or not, it's a singles world, and I'm like super aware of that. But the thing is, there were songs like Under Control and Can't Let You Love Me that I felt like were powerful songs that I wanted to put out, but they just didn't come across as singles for me. And it was super important to put these 4 songs together because they tell a story together. You know, there's a sort of chronological storyline going on, and that's the reason that I chose the order that they're in. So, for example, if you listen to the song from start to finish, you kind of see how there's this story of like, you know, the beginning of falling in love and not being sure of it, or if you should say something or not, and you're trying to like stay under control because you're not sure if they feel the same way.
Yeah.
And then the second song, Can't Let You Love Me, is kind of falling into that relationship, but not being sure if you're ready for it or able to really, you know, give the 100% that you want to. So even though you want to like love this person, you just can't. You can't do it. And I think that was a really tough emotion to understand. And then it goes into Little Italy, which is my personal favorite, to be honest, because Little Italy is all about reaching out to those people that you've ended those relationships with, you know, and I hate saying this word, but basically reaching out to everyone that you've kind of ghosted and being like, hey, it's not you, it's me. Like, I take full responsibility for being a jerk during that time. And like, look, if you still think I'm cool, like, let's talk it out and let me apologize in person kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a song that's meant to take responsibility and realize that, you know, sometimes you're the problem. And I think it's important to address that, especially with the songs that I usually put out, which I love the feedback that I get from my songs. But a lot of the time, it's almost like the crowd is like on my side, or like there's sides to be on, which I never saw my songs that way until people would like start messaging me being like, oh my God, screw that guy, or like, oh, you're so right, or oh, you deserve better than that. And the thing is, I never really saw it that way. I just saw it as like basically putting my emotions out. So to kind of flip the script and put a song like Little Italy was super important to kind of address the fact of like, yo, sometimes I'm the problem.
That takes
and then
a lot.
we kind of,
it takes a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I won't say it like out loud in person, but I'll put it in the song for sure.
Yeah.
And then we kind of end it with Runaway, and Runaway was a really, really important song to me because it's the first song that we put out that isn't about a romantic relationship or a love interest or any outside relationship at all. It's completely internal, and kind of ends the album with saying like, you know, you have to find like self-love from within and do what makes you happy and chase that without the pressures or the backlash that people will give you. Like, it's kind of just saying that you have to not care sometimes and just do what you want to do. And that's what Runaway is about.
Wow, that was deep. Yeah. Good night, everyone.
We'll see ourselves out. She's gonna take over the rest of this podcast.
No, I think it's beautiful, and I think it's great that you know, you're able to tell your story through your music, because, like you said, some people just express themselves differently, and you're able to, you know, go back, even like to just like be like, I'm you know, it's my fault, like, it's, you know, and some people are just don't give a shit. Yeah, like, you know,
some people can't express anything.
They can't express anything. Like Tom here, who's just an asshole.
Wow.
But, you know.
Wow. And here I am, just loving everybody in this room.
Exactly.
And on the screen.
I know.
And you're just throwing shade like I'm some sort of weird potato.
Does your I don't know how to word this question, like, that I've been thinking about. Does your brain ever turn off, like, or is it always just working to create new lyrics or like melodies, or Do you have time for yourself to be like, I need to just shut off for like a day or an hour?
Yeah, I mean, I try, but it doesn't work. I don't know. It's just it's stronger than me, I guess. I don't know. Like today, I kind of took the day to kind of relax and have like a clean the house kind of day. But I mean, my mind was still running with lyrics, and I was still like just writing a few things down on my phone to the point where like I don't think it's necessarily a good thing to constantly think that way, because I feel like I don't even develop some of my emotions sometimes. I'm just like I'll start thinking of something, I'll be like, oh, that's a good song, and then write it down and then be like, okay, that's it. Like I won't fully process whatever I'm feeling because I just go into song mode.
Emotional crisis dealt with.
Thank you, Dr. Tom. I appreciate it.
No, that was Steve. That was all Steve.
That was Steve. I cannot. I don't say things like that. Apparently, right, Ja?
No, you can't.
Thank you.
Oh, it's hilarious. Yeah.
Did you have? I know. Are you familiar with the Brooks, the Montreal funk band?
No.
Okay, you should listen to them. They're fantastic.
Yeah.
They're from
here.
I
will.
We interviewed them a few weeks ago, and they're good friends of ours. And they had a whole tour planned out for this year, right? Did you also have something in the pipeline for 2020 that just got like shat on?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Putting it lightly.
110%. We were gonna go like across Canada a little bit, and head over to Vancouver. I have some friends there now. And we were gonna, try and like promote the album with a tour, like, anyone would when they put something out. And that definitely got derailed. And the thing is, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was beating myself up a little bit because I wasn't doing anything. And there was a lot of artists doing live streams or, working around the pandemic. And I didn't do that right away. And the thing is, this is a little bit like to my demise, but I can't do something if I'm not like 100% invested in it, if it doesn't mean something to me. Like if you tell me, write a song about a dog, I could probably do it, but it's not going to mean anything.
It won't be passionate.
What?
It won't be passionate.
Exactly. Yeah. And like, that's kind of like the essence of my songwriting. So without it, it just kind of goes to shit. So I wasn't doing the live streams. I wasn't really writing because I didn't feel inspired about anything. And I was in a rut for sure. And I felt super bad about it. And then I just kind of realized, like, if I were to start doing live streams right now, it wouldn't be meaningful. It wouldn't, portray what I want to portray. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait till something like hits me in the face or like, brainstorm different things. And I was actually talking about it with a friend after the show yesterday. And I'm not saying that this pandemic was a blessing at all, but it definitely was a good challenge, I think, artistically, to kind of realize what I wanted to put out as an artist and really, invest my thoughts in what I'm putting out as Cinzia The Eclipse, because I'm like a huge extrovert and I will go to any concert that you tell me to go to. So before this, I was at like concerts maybe 5 or 6 nights a week, so I wouldn't be working on, let's say, like the back end of Cinzia The Eclipse stuff, like when it comes to planning or, branding and all these things. So it would kind of just be like, really, I don't want to say that I was flaky, but it was all like puzzle pieces in my head of like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, but I didn't really know because I never gave it the time. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this kind of forced me to sit with myself and my thoughts and really develop what I wanted with Cinzia The Eclipse and develop like the look, the brand, the message I wanted to put out. And that's when I came up with Lunar Sessions and had this whole idea to really bring in the audience into my world and bring them into my little Italy and personalize everything. Because, at the end of the day, no one can be doing the Lunar Sessions the way we are because it's tailored to Cinzia The Eclipse, and it's not just, we're going to do a live stream in our living room. It's like, no, I'm taking you there and I'm telling you the story and I want you to like feel what I felt when I first wrote the song. So I think it's just a matter of working around it, and if you want something bad enough and if you want to achieve something bad enough, I don't think anything can really stop you.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Wow. Yeah.
Hashtag, yeah. That was very motivational, actually. I feel like I need to work on stuff now.
I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm not a good person.
Well, that's
You're
true.
like that was so like intensely like fucking. Well, it's good. You know what? It's good that you were able to find that amidst all this, craziness. That's fantastic.
And then again, she's like writing every day. Too.
Yeah. You're also writing every day, which is like
that's kind of like something that I feel like every songwriter should develop, or honestly, I think everyone should write something because of like we all have brains, but there's this artist, Dean Lewis.
Yeah.
Is it Dean Lewis? Yeah. Okay. So a while ago, I was following him for a very long time, and he had put in his Instagram story like, "Oh my God, I write every day," and I was like, "Shit, me too. I want to write every day." And like that's how I'll like develop my ideas. So I mean, I was definitely writing before that, but I wasn't as disciplined with myself. Whereas now it's like I literally have a notebook in my bag. Like there's constantly paper next to me because you don't know when something is going to be worth something, you know? And even if it feels like you have nothing to write, it's just a matter of exercising that muscle and, getting those words out, because I mean, today what you write might be shit, but then tomorrow your muscle is stronger. So then it's like better.
Yeah.
Wow. That was really articulate.
Better. It's better.
You know what I'm actually what I'm actually wondering. You did with a friend of ours. You did
we have friends.
Surprisingly, especially when you have me that can't get words out. With the WGAF radio.
Oh wow,
Joey
Morbido.
Yeah.
How was that experience? How hard was it to do that interview without?
God.
And you did it at Haven, right? Was that the episode that?
No, it started at Haven because we had a photo shoot that week, and I don't even remember how I came up with that idea, but I messaged Joey and I was like, it would be really funny if you came and interrupt the photo shoot. And he's like, "Oh my God, genius!"
That's exactly what he's looking for. That's 100% what he's looking for.
It was perfect. And the thing is, like, me and my sisters, I'm like, I don't want to be too cocky, but we're like comedic geniuses. Oh. So it's kind of our like the stupid accents that he does is the same thing that me and my sisters do constantly. So when I saw him start doing these interviews, I'm like, oh my God, I need to be on this. Like I need to do it. And I think the hardest part was just not laughing because he's so on point. And he came in with like, oh my God, we did the interview.
He talks to you like his eyes are dead.
I was just about to say that. And he gets so into the character. It's amazing. And we did it at my apartment in Little Italy. And he came in, the one time that he broke character, or like, okay, we laughed a lot because it's freaking funny. But he like pulls out the microphone and I'm like, what is that, a Rock Band microphone like from PlayStation? And he's like, yeah. Crying. He came in with a rock band.
And he holds it mic. And he'll hold it like when he was interviewing us, he would just hold it like.
Yeah.
He's just flopping it over in front of us, and you're like, you have to get like super close to him, and yes. It's like it's like these kind of questions that they're like yes or no plus 3 words.
Oh my God. It was so great. It was so funny. He's I love seeing how good he is at doing what he does because it's so enjoyable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to do another interview with him.
He interviewed us in the summer, and I think he said that it had the most blooper reel because when I thought I was so cool, I just was like broken. Every time he would open his mouth.
How long did that take? I think for 5 minutes, it took like an hour and a half.
It took like almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You guys did it outside on
we did it in my backyard.
Yeah, in his backyard.
Yeah.
And like the first thing he says, like he comes in and goes, "Hi, we're here with Not Inside Look. I have 3 guys on me."
When he called you hype?
Yeah.
Hype. Yeah.
Anyways, but who would you like? What are you listening to now as far as music? Hit us with some sick tunes.
Right now, I'm a little I'm a little masochist when it comes to music. So I'm listening to a lot of JP Sachs, a lot of Freya Ridings, and Louis Capaldi, of course. Kelsey Carter. I feel like you guys are just, I don't know any of these names.
I know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know any.
I know Louis Capaldi. The rest of them, I'm like,
Okay.
very nice. So.
I'm gonna do it. Okay, little promo for these people. Freya Ridings is from the UK, and she's like, her voice is just so powerful, and she's one of the artists that kind of taught me to open up my voice a little more. She's amazing.
Oh, nice.
Kelsey Carter is like this badass who's from New Zealand but lived in LA, and now I don't know where she is, but she's like basically the savior of rock and roll right now. Who else did I say? JP Sachs.
Yeah.
He's Canadian. He's from Toronto, actually. He wrote that song with Julia Michaels, "If the World Was Ending."
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so he's.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Sorry?
Are you okay?
It was just a mic drop, guys. She didn't fall down a well to our listeners. Like, it's all good.
Such a bad mic drop moment. Like, mic drops are supposed to be cool. They're supposed to be cool. Come on. But JP Sachs is just a really, really emotional writer too that I would die to write with. And he's now, I'm going to sound so creepy because I know like everything about him and his relationship with Julia Michaels because I love them so much. But she's also like one of my favorite songwriters. So they're like two songwriters that I really want to work with. So I'm trying to make that happen in my future.
You got to just keep pushing it out there. I mean,
keep doing it. DMs, stories.
Yeah.
Just keep hitting them with it. You'll get it.
And who are some of your these are obviously influential too, but like who are like the older artists? Like who are some of those more influential singer-songwriters?
You want me to get classic?
Do it.
Get classic on you.
We get ready because then we're gonna ask you for the singer-songwriters you hate the most.
We won't do that.
No, we won't.
Oh my god, do I even have that? I don't have that. I feel like I'm gonna like stay up in bed tonight and be like, who do I hate?
It's a hard question. It's a hard question. Who don't you like?
But yeah, I guess the more influential bridges that I've always had is definitely Faith Hill. She's a country singer who was like one of the first voices that I heard. Janis Joplin, for sure, 110%. Billie Holiday, I just love the way that she did everything. I don't know. I don't even know how to pinpoint it, but you know, the songs just kind of make you travel somewhere else and just bring you to another time every time she sings. So that's really something that I want to be able to do. So I take a lot of inspiration from her. And Florence and the Machine too. Florence Welch, man. She's
badass.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, she's badass. Chef's kiss.
She nailed it.
Nailed it. That's awesome. Hey, we're also like we're big movie guys. Like, what are some of your favorite movies?
Oh God, I haven't watched a movie in so long because I just don't anymore. But I used to be a big I don't want to say this, but I used to be a big like Woody Allen fan when I studied cinema.
It's fine.
I know.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. I mean, you could say
you know the classic douchey film student. Like, did you watch Woody Allen? It's really great. Like, I was that person.
Annie Hall is one of the greatest films of all time.
It's one of the greatest. Have you watched Pulp Fiction? I love Quentin Tarantino. But
everyone knows that Jackie Brown is the best Quentin Tarantino.
I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God, what are you doing?
Okay, guys, listen.
What are you doing?
I understand.
No, see, you say that, but clearly you don't.
How good could it possibly be?
my God.
Everything you
Get
guys
off
do
the
is
show,
Jackie
fun.
Brown this and Jackie Brown that.
Listen, I
Yeah.
don't know what to tell you.
Pam fucking
where did
Greer.
you study film? I also studied film.
I studied at Dawson.
Me too.
Oh, film buddies.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
That's cool. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah. Huh?
I didn't know that about you. That's cool.
Yeah, little secrets.
No secrets.
I was good
cool.
with Champlain film.
Yeah, Steve stayed at Champlain Film, but that's just for
right.
losers.
That's
Right, you see, the only film
That's
student didn't watch
right.
Jackie Brown. Go figure, huh? Wow. Wow, I'll see myself out.
Yeah, please.
This
Bye.
is the stop record button if you guys get lost.
Cinzia, this has been so much fun.
Yeah, I had fun.
Are you sure?
It sounded so sarcastic. It wasn't. It was very fun. I like how we were able to reminisce about things that I had forgotten about, like Dawson. Thank you.
That was like the last 5 seconds. I remember everything about this podcast, but we spoke about Dawson. That's what
That's what stuck with.
That's what stuck with me.
You're for sure.
You're gonna play us a little song, and what's the song you're gonna play?
Sure. So this song is gonna be "Runaway."
So that's your hit. That's on the beat right now, and it's like available on Spotify. And go fucking
click,
subscribe, and all
stream,
that stuff.
Subscribe,
get notifications,
like everything. Just say words that the government will make you. Let's get Spotify, Apple, everything. Everything.
I'm telling you, Cinzia The Eclipse is going to be really big. So, I mean, that may as well get on the bandwagon right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Be an
Thanks,
original.
Jenny.
Buy merch. Support local artists.
That's right.
And Cinzia, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
This has been another episode of Snobcast. Chef Tom and Hype Man Steve, we will see you, I
I'm
guess,
not coming back.
Yeah, well,
next
good luck
episode.
with everything.
I'm not going to be here. You guys figure it out.
Yeah, have a good night, Tom.
Yeah.
Cold nights. Well, I don't usually do these kind of things. Promise that you'll remember me when things come undone. Same lines that I could never really stay between. Promise that you'll believe me when things go belly side up. Your white lies never hurt anyone. Well, I've never held a loaded gun until now. Forget everything that you ever said. I want it now. I'm not finished yet. I'm a runaway. I'm a runaway. Forget everything that you ever said. I want it now. I'm not finished yet. I'm a runaway. I'm a runaway. Street lights lighting up everywhere we've been. Swear you'll stay with me between now and then. And even when it all ends, your white lies never hurt anyone. Well, I've never held a loaded gun until now. Until now. Forget everything that you've ever said. I want it now. I'm not finished yet. I'm a runaway. I'm a runaway. Forget everything that you've ever said. I want it now. I'm not finished yet. I'm a runaway. I'm a runaway. Ooh. Yeah.